Great Coast Munchies.
Today we're going to make some delicious and adorable little meringue mushrooms. They're a great decoration for any dessert, but are also delicious by themselves. We're going to start with 3 large egg whites. In your stand mixer or bowl with your hand mixer will work fine too. You'll want to add 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar and get 3/4 cup of white sugar ready to slowly start pouring in. I put my mixer on around a medium-high speed and slowly pour in a little more sugar every few minutes. This usually takes a good 10 minutes, and you'll know when it's done when you have nice hard peaks. If your points flop over like that, keep going until they're nice and stiff. And once you've got your desired consistency, this is when you'll want to whip in any extra flavorings like vanilla or almond extract. Then prepare a piping bag. Open it up as much as you can and start slapping that filling in there. Might get messy and take a few minutes, but you'll get it. Once it's full, you'll want to squeeze any air out until it starts coming out of the tip. You'll then take the top of the bag, close it, and give it a little twist. Next, you're going to grab some baking sheets and line them with parchment paper. I decided to use these cool silicone mats, but they work just the same. You'll then take your piping bag, twist it up and hold it on the end with one hand, and use the other to guide it. I like to start squeezing out into small circles. I made these a little big, but I try to make them about inch and a half around. They don't need to be perfect, just not too big and around the same size. With this recipe, you can make somewhere around 2 dozen of these mushrooms, but as a rule of thumb, I leave 1/3 of my total meringue mixture to the side specifically for the stems. This next step is a little extra. You don't have to do it, but I think it makes them look a little nicer. I just wet my finger and gently tap down the little nubs that are left over. Leaves for a nicer looking cap. Then you can throw them in the oven at 200 degrees for about an hour, maybe even an hour and a half. Pretty much just until they're fully dried out. And while those are in the oven, you can pipe out some stems. I try to make sure they have a nice big bottom. It helps them stand upright because they can be a little top heavy, and you don't want them to be too tall because that also will not help that problem. Usually no taller than about an inch, and I always try to make way more than I need because inevitably they're not all going to fit caps well, and some of them you can just look at and know that they're going to fall over. Those I just eat while I'm making the rest. Once your caps come out of the oven and your stems go in, I like to grab a little cocoa powder and dirty up the tops of the caps. You can just give it a little sprinkle and then rub the cocoa powder all around the tops. This is also an optional step, you don't have to, but I think it makes them look a lot nicer. Once you got your cooked caps all dirtied up and your stems come out of the oven, you can start putting them together. I like to start by taking all my caps, grabbing a toothpick or some other small pointy object you have lying around your kitchen, and make a small hole in the center of the bottom of every cap. It really helps for the stems to stick their points up into, and it really helps connect the two so they don't fall apart. This will take a few minutes, but once you finally get through all of them, you can start preparing some chocolate. I like to use a small handful of semi-sweet chips and just a little bit of butter. You can prepare your chocolate however you want. Melt it in the microwave, toaster oven, double boiler, whatever you need to do. Once you have that ready, you're going to take a stem and a cap, and you're going to dip the tip of the stem in the chocolate, and then insert it into the hole in the bottom of the cap. Don't press too hard, just some nice firm gentle pressure, and hold it, and then set it down and let it harden. Then you'll repeat this process with the rest of your caps and stems. I like to pick out all the best looking ones and do all those first, and then see what's left over and try to fit together some fugly looking ones. You can use all the pretty ones as decoration and chow down on all the funky ones. I hope you enjoy. I love these things. They literally melt in your mouth. Let me know in the comments whether you made them to eat or decorate with. Like this video if you like meringue, and subscribe for more recipes.